Well, it looks like another day, another victory for the Dragon Ball fan. We have a brand new Dragon Ball Super Toyotaro interview where he talks about not only the superhero arc, but everything going on with Dragon Ball right now. And I don't know if you guys are ready for all this information, but there is a lot to digest here. So in this video, we're going to be going through and see exactly what we have in store for us in the future based on this information. First and foremost, honestly, it probably flew right over my head, maybe a few of you guys too, but this is their 100 chapters of the DBS manga. The newest chapter was 101, so this is a huge moment, not only for Toyotaro, but also for everybody working behind the scenes for Dragon Ball Super. Looking back at the last 8 years of his work, last 100 chapters of the DBS manga, he was asked what was the most memorable moments, and he said a few. He said that his chapter being praised by Akira Toriyama was something that was surreal to him, something that really boosted his self-esteem and really gave him confidence into knowing that he's going in the right direction. The chapter in question is actually chapter 31 of the DBS manga. You guys may remember this chapter because this chapter is not only the chapter where Bulla is born, also the chapter where we first see Jiren in the DBS manga. And honestly, after seeing that this is what Toriyama told Toyotaro about his chapter, I had to go reread that chapter myself, and rereading it, it is honestly a really good chapter. It is the ending of the preliminary matches, or not even the preliminary matches, the fight between Goku and Toppo for the Tournament of Power, and then we get into a lot of like family low-key story on Universe 7, Vegeta having a family, Bulma being pregnant and then having a baby, as well as a lot of information for how Universe 11 actually functions with Belmont, the God of Destruction, and the Pride Troopers. So it's a very solid chapter, and honestly, after rereading it, I can see why Toriyama gave him so much praise for it. He also said he did enjoy visiting fans outside of Japan before COVID, and this makes me feel like he hasn't come out of Japan since COVID, because his next thing that he says is he wants to come to LA in the future, meaning that we could possibly be getting Toyotaro at some sort of Comic-Con later down the line. He was asked which character had the most development in Dragon Ball, and of course Toyotaro knows it, everybody knows it, it's not a secret that it is our boy Vegeta. Vegeta has had the most character development, and I'm not just saying that he went from bad to good, because Piccolo had the exact same thing, and Piccolo really has been the same character since the 90s after that. He has really not changed besides now being a babysitter for Gohan. That's basically it. That's the little bit of character development he's had. Vegeta literally was a bloodthirsty warrior, bloodthirsty. Didn't care about his family, didn't care about nothing, and now he will do anything to protect his family, his planet, and even Goku. So yeah, Vegeta definitely deserves it, and I'm glad that Toyotaro actually said something about it. He says his favorite character in all of Dragon Ball, though, is Goku. I mean, he's the main character, and for him, it's the main character that he has been drawing the entire time. He draws Goku the most, he says, out of any character in the manga, so of course it's going to be his favorite character, makes sense. But then he says something here that really brought me back to Dragon Ball AF, because I read Dragon Ball AF well before Super even was a thought, back in the thousands, basically. And Dragon Ball AF had a lot of unique characters with a lot of unique character traits, and just the way they looked, they were very futuristic. A lot of them literally retro or even just really edgy, and I feel like that was Toyotaro's lane. He says in this that he was so happy to break out in when it comes to his own type of art style in the Granola arc by designing not only Granola, but also designing Granola's ship and everything that comes along with it. I mean, Granola has a great design, in my opinion. I think that Granola as a warrior, the way that he looks, the sniper element to him, everything was really solid. But once he wished to become the strongest, he literally just kind of became the same as everybody else, which kind of took away from how unique he was. But his design and everything, I think, is top notch. And I think that he's saying this because he will probably have some form of character that is faithful to his art style, or just something that's faithful to his art style in the future, maybe a new bad guy or something that is indicative of what kind of art style Toyotaro likes to produce. So this is very interesting as well. So this one took me back a little bit, but I understand why, and hear me out. This is why he said this, because he was asked what was his favorite arc in the DBS manga. And favorite arc, not Moro, like I, have been saying for me it has been. No, it was the prequel arc for Superhero. Okay, so the Superhero prequel arc is very down-to-earth stuff. It's just like run-of-the-mill. It's nothing too crazy. I understand that it is a lot of people's cup of tea. I understand a lot of people like that arc. I did not like that arc whatsoever. It was too goofy. It didn't make Goten and Trunks like endearing to me whatsoever, or make me hype for them to become main characters or more main characters in the future. It just wasn't for me, and the whole Mai situation was weird. So to me, it wasn't the best. For him, he absolutely liked it. I think he liked it because before that was the last arc that he had full creative control, at least to an extent, with Toriyama being able to kind of police that, before he had to redraw for, I don't even know how many months, it was like 5 months, 6 months. He had to redraw the entire DBS movie. So he probably suffered for like 6 months, and that was the last fond memory he's had of the manga prior to the newest chapter. So that's probably why he said that. But the Moro arc does get some shine, because when asked what is his favorite battle from the DBS manga, it is Moro versus Goku, when Goku turns into Susanoo and fights Moro, which honestly, I mean, yeah, that's a solid answer to me. That's one of the best fights in all of Dragon Ball, not just the DBS manga. Now, Toyotaro was asked what his favorite cover design has been that he's created for the DBS manga. He said cover 19, because everyone was happy and it was peaceful times. And I was thinking about it. I was like, cover 19? I had to go look it up, because peaceful times, I don't remember. I remember some goofy ones, but I don't remember. Guys, look at this cover. This is the cover that he's talking about. A masterfully well done cover. Definitely top 5, maybe even top 3 of all DBS manga covers. Possibly even 1. Look at the contrast between the happy Goku family and the sacrifice that Bardock created. But he said it was a happy Goku family. Yeah, Goku's family is happy, but Bardock, Grandpa and Grandma, they're not happy in this cover at all. They have to get rid of Goku. They have to ship him off somewhere. But that is the start of the Goku family. Obviously, it's just such a great. Honestly, I love it. I like that he said this. I love this cover. It is fantastic. Somebody asked him what his favorite quote was from the DBS manga. He says there's 2. One where Roshi was questioning power levels, which I don't really remember. I couldn't find that one. But there is one, I couldn't find it either, but I do remember when he said this. It was when Roshi calls back to the Dragon Ball manga, the original one, and he says something along the lines as eat well, rest well, play well, and learn well, which I think that's a really solid quote. The second episode is part 2. It's basically just talking about the manga and how Toyotaro tries to emulate the Toriyama-esque nature of just the flow of the panels and different things along those lines, and impact lines, hair, all that stuff, but he still has to keep it solid and keep it within his own art style. So it's just him telling us exactly how he's drawn the manga. It's a really solid episode. I'm gonna leave a link to both these interviews in the description below. Make sure you go ahead and check them out. They're solid interviews. The first interview is of 2024, so I'm glad that we get to go over them together as a family. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content.